Right, let's go. Um, let's go. Okay, so we are on session 3, and session 3 is all about initiating. So what we've done in 1 and 2, well, in 1 we got your foundations in place so that anytime you do anything on Facebook, you've got your assets, your marketing assets ready there to greet your welcome mat, basically ready to greet your ideal client. In class 2, we talked about all the different networking events that are inside Facebook, and you're out there mile deeping with people and getting to know people. And so now in this class, we're going to talk about the content that you put out, because once they've arrived at your house, they're going to want to see what you're about. And this is where you will be posting in the various different areas of Facebook to basically share what you know and to build, to bring your audience closer to you based on your content. So as introverts, we might have phases of lots and lots of initiating, but typically we're not machines. We're not content generation machines. So what we want to do is, when we initiate, we want to make sure that we get the maximum amount of reach for those posts, and that we want to make sure that we are communicating with all of the different audiences in the right way. Now in class 4, we're going to talk about the different types of content to be putting out. There is a spectrum of content to share that will encourage more inquiries, but today it's all about making sure that whenever you do initiate anywhere, you're going to get the best reach, the best impact for the effort that it's going to take. Okay, so let's go. We can skim that bit because we've done it. So let's go straight into part 1, the 3 parts today. In part 1, I'm going to share with you some of the little quirks is the word of the day. We're going to share with you some of the quirks about Facebook that will matter or should matter to you when you post. So we're going to cover some of the things that you're about to learn in this part. You might recognize that you're doing some of the things, and if you are, you're going to stop from now. Okay, so deep breath, because you're probably about to get challenged here by some of the things. I know some of you are doing some of these. So everything that I'm going to cover in this part applies wherever you post on Facebook. I don't care if it's on your profile, on your page, in a group, in your group, or anybody else's group, or if you use Facebook events, which I don't recommend. I'm not going to be covering in summer school and school, because they are what Facebook events are a gate, a barrier between you with your audience and the event that you want them to go to. So you have to get them from here into the event, and from the event to the ticket page or wherever. So I typically don't recommend that you use Facebook events. I'm not going to be covering Facebook events, but supposing you've been invited to an event, actually the only time I do use events is in the group. In my groups, I use events for calls. We use events inside the group, but not public events. But supposing you've been invited to an event and you're posting inside the event, then everything applies there as well. It doesn't matter where you post. What I'm about to share is applicable. All right. So number 1, when you hit that post button, your post is not instantly published to everybody. Okay, it used to be years ago, back in the olden days, it used to be that when you post, everybody received it into their newsfeed immediately. But due to the demand, they can't do that anymore. So what they do now is they drip it over a period of, when I was teaching this 6 months ago, it was 3 to 4 days. It's now 4 to 5, and that's going to get longer, and I anticipate that by the end of this year it will be 7. So what that means for you is, to when you come to post something, try and make sure that the post that you're putting out has a life long enough for the drip feed. So if you're saying I'm going live in an hour, that's not any good when somebody's reading it 5 days later. That's a waste of their attention when they've read the post that you're going live in an hour, but that was 4 days ago. Okay, so there is no way to use Facebook organically now to reach people instantly. The only way that you can reach people instantly is to use a messenger bot. I don't cover messenger bots in school, but they are a separate audience that has to be built. You cannot reach your friends or your page followers or anybody, your group members or anybody, instantly on Facebook. They will all see it over a period of 4 to 5 days. So bear that in mind when you're posting. Bear in mind that if you are asking a question, you should allow that time for it to drip out. I see people post a question and then 2 hours later say, oh, nobody got an opinion yet. Well, you know, Facebook will show it over the next 5 days. You just got to be patient. You got to let them do their thing. I mean, clearly they don't know that, but that's why they're impatient. But you have to allow time for the post to drip into the newsfeed. Right? You will hit a point around about 5 days where the attention drops, and that's because it's finished its cycle. Okay, so understand that your posts don't hit all users instantly, and allow the time for it to drip, and be aware that there is no point posting urgency organically without you can post urgently organically with the understanding that, you know, you might hit half a dozen people with it. And separately, what I do is I go back, and usually if I've remembered, if you catch me out on this, I'll put my hands up, but I will go back. If I've done that, if I hit it, put something out there like the offer ends at 5 o'clock tonight because I posted it at 9 o'clock this morning, I typically will go back and take it away afterwards. I don't always remember why the intention is there, but be aware that is the case. Okay, right. So now we're going to talk about a few of the posting things that mean that Facebook automatically penalise your post reach. So what that means is that not only will they drip feed it into news feeds over 4 to 5 days, but if you commit any of these things, they will drip it into less or no news feed, barely any. Okay. And sometimes you might choose to compromise on reach just to put something out there. That's entirely up to you. My job is to make sure you know what the compromises are that you're making. Here's the thing, right? Facebook is its own entity with its own agenda. So I always say, if Facebook ever recommend anything to you, and you see this more in Ads Manager that we're not covering here, but Facebook often recommend that you boost that post, or recommend that you include that placement. Whenever they recommend something, you can guarantee that it's not in your interest for you to do that ever. It's in their interest because they have their own agenda. So for us, we have to work with their agenda in order to maximize our own reach on Facebook, because we're not going to win against them. And so I'm now going to share some of the ways that you might be going against Facebook's agenda that is going to be penalised, it's going to cost you in visibility. So number 1 is, well, number 1 and 2 really, 1 and 1A is using external links in your post, and added in addition YouTube links. So Facebook's KPI, one of Facebook's key performance indicators, is to increase the amount of time their users spend inside Facebook. Because the longer you spend on Facebook, the more they can serve ads to you. Once you leave Facebook, they can't show you their ads. So they want you there. They want you there 24/7, right? So then we come along, marketers, and we say, no, we don't want you in Facebook. We want you on our website, or we want you watching our videos on YouTube, right? So we're now opposite ends, and they're going to win. So they don't want you sending people to your website. They don't want you taking away the potential for ad revenue from the people who are advertising. And they definitely don't want you going to YouTube, because they have another goal of being the world's #1 video. Where YouTube, most video hours are watched on YouTube. Facebook want that crown. So doubly, no, if you transfer them to YouTube. So how we get around this is to put the links in the comments, okay? So if you obviously, or I presume you've seen that around, when you see links in comments, that's what's going on there. A link is in the comment, not in the post. If you put the link in the post, the algorithm detects it, and it goes, oh no, they're not going to do that, because we want you to stay here. So don't use external links in post. If you must use an external link, put it in a comment, right? The longer you can leave a post without an external link, the better. So when we post on Facebook, I set like a balloon. You know, you've got a balloon, a helium balloon, and when it's just text, the balloon flies. When it's got an image on it, it can weigh down the balloon a little bit. So let's say it's got a pen tied to the end of it. It's not great weight, but it's there. When you put a link, it's like putting a brick on it, right? So the longer you can leave your balloon to fly without a link, the better. But if you must use a link, use the comment for the link, and really generally try and avoid using YouTube anywhere where visibility is the goal. I use YouTube link for our replays, and that is because I'm not relying on you seeing those posts in the newsfeed, because they're in units and you can go to units and find it. But if it's a post that you want to appear in the newsfeed, try and keep it without links for as long as possible. And if you can't, if there must be a link, then put it in the comment. The next thing is sharing posts. Now the Facebook algorithm determines that, or has decided, realizes that your audience are here for you. They want to hear from you, and if they wanted content from the other person, they will be there already. So when it's deciding what to put in newsfeed, it deprioritizes shared content. And that's good for you, because it's your content is going to prioritize your stuff and not anything you share. So first of all, don't ever click share and then share like that. If you must share, use the post, the URL for the actual post, and share that, okay? But 99% of all shared content I see in my feed is just, my feed would be much better off without it. If I wanted it, I would find it. Most of it is low value. Now here's the other problem, okay? And this is the biggest problem. When you share a post on Facebook, deprioritize it, right? When it comes to deciding, this is all algorithmically done, not manually done, but when it comes to deciding how many news feeds to place your own content in, it takes a helicopter view of the interest that your content provides your audience. So when you're share, your content, each of those share posts are having their are being deprioritized, so your interest level is in the toilet, because nobody's interacting with the post, because A, they're not seeing them because they're being deprioritized, and B, because share content really does get interaction anyway, or much, and compared to your own stuff. And that's going to hurt you when you start to initiate your own stuff. It's going to take you a while to get out of that. So please stop sharing. All right, now this is the thing for introverts, because it can be much easier to talk about somebody else's thing than it is to talk about our thing. But when you talk about their thing, when you're sharing their thing, you're not helping them, because you're not really helping them because it's being deprioritized anyway. But more importantly, and most importantly, you're harming yourself. You're hurting your own reach, and it's your reach that will impact your income. All right, no more sharing, please. No more sharing unless it's absolutely vital that thing gets shared. Okay, if it is vital, then we'll come to it a bit later, but there is a way to do it if it's vital. But don't ever just hit that share button, because it's going to cost you in the long term and the short term and the medium term and all the term. Right, number 3, duplicate content. If you post something on your profile and then you go and post it in a group, the group post will be deprioritized because it's a duplicate of the profile post, right? If you share the profile post into your group, it will also be deprioritized because it's a share, but not as much as if you just posted the duplicate content. Now, in some groups, if you post the same post in more than one group, some groups will actively ban you for that, because it's lazy. Basically, it's lazy initiating, but it's also it's not good for members of that group who might be members of the other group seeing this thing over and over again in their newsfeed. That's not a great way it's not a great experience for the people reading it. It's just not. And it shows up, they all show together, and it says, hey, she's just copied and pasted the same thing in the same place. So if you want to place the same content multiple times, either use the post share link, so actually grab the URL from the address bar, share it into your group, or do a 50-75% rewrite. If you're using images, edit the image somehow so it's a different image the second time. Otherwise, the image, if you post the same image twice, it will be penalised. And make sure that, and also separate to all of that, separate to Facebook's algorithm and the fact that it's a reach visibility killer. Just think about the people behind the screen seeing potentially the same thing over and over and over again. It's not a good experience for them. So be mindful of that. And generally speaking, I would say keep your content to your own channel, not in group. Don't post your brilliant content in groups. Keep it for your own channels, okay? And use the groups for more deeping. Thing number 4 is using third-party apps. So if you can't, there is no native way to schedule posts on your personal profile. And if you want to schedule stuff on your page, there's a way of scheduling on the page itself. But if you're using anything like Hootsuite or MeetActor or any of those scheduling software, or if you use software to put up your live streams like Be Live or what's the other one? Can't remember. But one of those pretty live stream side by side names, comments running up the screen thing. That's an example of when you might want to compromise reach for the nice looking video, but you are going to compromise reach because Facebook do not want you scheduling by third party apps. Do everything for maximum reach. Use only native Facebook features. Do live from inside Facebook, not in a software. Post live or schedule from inside Facebook, not from software. Do everything in Facebook natively. If you there are some software where you can create videos like Lumen5, and then it says click this button to share into Facebook. Don't ever do that. Download the video and then upload it to Facebook. All right, it's that cross-sharing bit that will get it penalised. Right, and then there's some advisories. So number one is, this is something because I think you're getting the impression now that I'm utterly obsessed with watching everything that goes on and learning as much as I can about what makes Facebook work for us. And one thing that I've noticed is when you post more than once in 24 hours, the second post doesn't get such good reach. So what I would recommend is, if you do want to post where you're in your active initiate energy, and if you did want to post more than once, make sure the first post is the most important of the two, or just hold it off for the next day, or again decide that you want to compromise on the reach to get both out to some people, however. Okay, number two is that Saturdays is often dead on Facebook. It's very, very few people. It's a day where typically people go and do things out there. If it's a bank holiday, it applies to Sunday as well. So it's Saturday and Sunday. It's usually like the afternoon, evening before society goes back to work. It's when it starts to pick up again. So if you've got something really important, by all means post on Saturday, but understand that the reach is probably not going to be as good as if you waited until Sunday. And the other thing is that I recommend is, and I've tested this on myself, and that is, when you post on your profile, when you originally post on your profile, make it friends only, okay, for 24 hours. And then after 24 hours, go back if you want to. You don't have to do it, but for the important stuff, go back and make it public. Now, the reason for this is, supposing that I wanted to fill up a stadium of water, it's easier to fill this up first and then tip it into the stadium when it's full than to just, suppose I want to fill this room up with water. It would be quicker, or the bath, right? It's quicker to fill up a cup, tip it in, cup, tip it in, than it is to fill the whole bath up. And it's the same with trying to get traction on your post. By friends only initially, it's got further to spread, so it gets more traction quicker, and then you can take the lid off and pour it out after about 24 hours, okay? So those 4 advisories, and it's worth you looking and coming to your own assessment about that from your own profiles. Decide that they've always been quiet, but see for yourself, because there could be some audiences where that's not the case. So play with that for yourself and notice. And also the 2 posts in 24 hours thing. If whenever that occurs that you have got the energy to do it twice in 24 hours, check that as well. So let's do Q&A, and then we'll go to part 2. Hi, Karen. So it's a no-no to share your page post to your profile. It's not a no-no. It's none of these. I'm not going to tell you never. Well, apart from I have just told you never to share other people's stuff. But when you want to post from one place to another, as long as you use the Facebook URL, you can use the Facebook URL inside the post. So where you view the post on your desktop, if you click on the date of the post, the timestamp, it opens it up in its own window. Grab the URL for that, or on mobile, click share and then it copy link. Share, more option, copy link on mobile, and then use that. But understand that it will be lower than if it was native original content that you were posting. Does that make sense? So it's not a no-no to share between, but recognizing that there will be some limitation. Right, links in post. What is the difference between post and comments? Are you saying that the original author post and responded to the post? Yeah, I'm saying that the original author of the post and the original post. So if I write, so hey, who's coming to my party tonight? Which I never will, because party. So if I write a post that says, hey, who's coming to my party tonight? That's the post. And then, supposing I said, who's coming to my party tonight? It's at the Royal Gardens. And then I wanted to put a link to the royal garden. So what I would do is in the post, I would say, hey, who's coming to my party tonight? It's at the royal garden. See link in comments for directions. And then in the comment, do you respond to your own post and put the link there. How does it recognise an image as a duplicate if you change the image a bit that still count as being similar? I don't know. I'm not a computer genius, but there's something in the image that it reads. So, like if you edit an image, it creates a different image, so it's got a different reference or something. I don't really understand it, but it knows. It's clever. What about sharing Facebook Lives from a page to a group? Not something I do, but I'm aware that others do it too. It's the same for sharing lives in a group. I do that, it's fine. But when you do it, use the link to the post, not the share option. So don't click share and then share to group. Choose the group. Doing it that way will kill it more. Grab the link and share, and then post with the new post, and the link can go in the post because it's a Facebook link. It's only when you want to take somebody away from Facebook that the link must go in the comment. That makes sense? So if I place my post on my business page and then share to my personal page, that's not a great idea. It's not a bad idea. It's not a wrong one, but get the link to the post. Don't just click share to personal, to whatever it says, share to newsfeed or something. Don't do that. Copy the link to the post and then write a new post on your personal and tell them why they need to watch this or look at this post, and then put the link to that page post in the post because it's a Facebook link that can go in the post. What about sharing your video from your phone? Like when I do a video from my phone, what do I do? Did you mean an uploaded video from uploading from my phone? I never do that because I don't know how. So all of my photos and videos that I do on my phone automatically go to Dropbox. I don't know, I can't remember how I set that up. It's a phone thing. But then what I do is then I go to Dropbox and so it's in there. If I'm on my desktop, I upload it from Dropbox. If I'm on my phone, I then use the Pages Manager app or the Facebook app, depending if I'm putting it on my page, I use the Pages Manager app, or the Facebook app if I'm put it on my profile and upload it from there. Does that answer the question? And then if you want to share it, then you grab the link from wherever it is and put it in the other place. How do you get around people sharing a post with an image that has a link in the comments? I find only the image is shared, not the comment. Therefore, the link is locked. It is. And that's an example of when you might want to compromise. So how I approach this is do the post without the link. I'll put the link in the comment. When somebody has shared it, so when I get the notification that so-and-so has shared it, then I would go back and edit the link back in. But if I haven't, I don't. Does that make sense? So it's because, so the compromise here is because somebody has shared it, I'm willing to risk my post going into fewer news feeds in order for it to have value to the audience of the person who shared it, but only when that link really needs to be there. Make sure that link really needs to be there before you do that, before you put the link anywhere near the post anyway. So if I was saying, join, buy my program before 5 o'clock, or buy my program, and somebody shared my promo, it's in my interest to have the link in the post to go back and edit. So it's vital that link is there for the value to be there. Does that make sense? Perfect. That's what you've been doing. Right. So Is it no longer a good idea for others to share your post? Do you just want likes instead? I mean, we're never going to discourage anyone from sharing, but we don't want to necessarily, there is no value in encouraging them. We don't have to tell them to stop. If, you know, they get their little rush of feel good because they've helped you. You don't need to tell them to stop. It doesn't penalise you if they share, but there is no value. There's no benefit to them sharing, not like there used to be. It's what you do that impacts your reach. You know, there's possibly some benefit if their audience does a lot with it. You know, if they're massively engaged with it, it helps your how interesting is this person's score go up. But there's no point in saying, hey, share my post, everyone, not like they used to be. Right, okay, so let's go to part 2 and then we'll come back. Right, so in part 2 we're going to talk about content format, okay? Because we all have an easiest way of creating content. For me, that's writing. And your audience has a preferred way to consume your content. Maybe it's to read your typed out words, maybe it's to watch you on video. There's no way yet Facebook don't have audio sharing as anything yet. So I've excluded audio because there's no native way of sharing audio in a post on Facebook. We've got voice memos in Messenger, but not for posts. So when it comes to you initiating, when it comes to you creating content, my recommendation is that you create the content in the way that is the easiest and quickest for you to create it. There are people out there, like me, but there are people out there telling you that video content is best, that podcasting is best, that you must do live streams, you must do pre-recorded videos, you must have a podcast, you must write super blogs that are 2,000 words, you must. All of that is rubbish if it's not going to get done. For me, when you say to me, you must, so that next idea that you have, you must do a live stream to share it. I will find you 101 reasons why I can't do that today. And it will get put off and it will get put off and put off. Where if I can write it from here to there within 10 minutes. Now, the longer that information stays up here, the lower the value that information is. We've got no value because your audience are still in the dark with it. So my suggestion and my recommendation is that you create the content in the way that you can get out there like that and that you are inspired to create it. If that's video, great. If that's writing, great. It doesn't matter. It just matters mostly that it's out there. All right? Now then what you can do, if you want to, and when you choose to, you can have it, well, you can, I don't know where that went, we might find it later. You can later convert it. So what is text, oh, it's on there. What is text can become video, and what is video can become text. What is video can become text easier than what is text can become video, but you can do both. It might be that, I would say 95% of my output is written, and 5% occasionally, rarely, not very often, I'll be inspired. Do you know what? I'm going to do a video today. I'm going to do a live stream today. What's more important than that, my stuff is out there. If my stuff isn't out there, nobody can know what I'm about or learn from me. So do it in whichever way is quickest and easiest for you. If you enjoy firing up live and just going live off the cuff, do that. Don't worry about writing it down or making it a more structured thing. Just get it out, because when it's out there, it's serving. Okay? When it's up here, ain't nobody getting no value. And we want to serve. So when you post content, short content, that's brief text or quick videos, will get the most engagement. Image posts will get the most engagement, whether it's memes and whatever, GIFs, get the most engagement. They will have the least impact. Then you write a lovely long content, high value post, it gets the lowest engagement, but it has the most impact. So don't measure yourself or the value of your post or the impact that you're having on your client based on the engagement, because it is no measure, it bears no correlation to the level of impact. All right, now you might want to mix it up so you get some engagement and you get some impact. Engagement's good, it's feel good, but don't follow the chain of engagement. Instead, impact is what's going to bring you the inquiry. Now, many of your buyers will not be engaging on your post, and the higher the net worth of your clients, the least of them will be engaging on your post as well. Now, just a couple of days ago, Jo mentioned she was at an event and somebody had been following her for 6 months, reading her stuff and seeing what she posts on her page, but not actively, certainly not someone that was engaging regularly. That is happening. You just don't know about it. Okay, so don't worry about your engagement. Don't lose any sleep about the engagement, and don't trace engagement 100%. Impact is the goal, and you don't know what impact you are having until they are ready to reveal to you that you have made an impact on them. And it will be when they're ready to buy or they're ready to inquire. Okay, but don't worry about engagement. So my post got 5 likes. My post got 100 likes. Well, that's nice. 100 likes, that's right. But it won't be the 100 like post usually that brings the money. It'll be the combination of all the 5. Oh no. When you are posting video, the video must always be uploaded to Facebook natively, where maximum reach is the goal. So like I say, when I share the replays of these calls with you, they're YouTube links, and it's because maximum reach is not my goal, because we're using Uni. And if you're speaking to camera, all right, you're sitting in front of a camera like this with no slides, you must caption your videos always, because 85% of people are scrolling their newsfeed with their device on silent, and they're not gonna go and find their headphones. They're not gonna turn the volume up. They might be in bed, they might be on a train, they might be trying to wait for their baby to fall asleep. Anything. 85%. That's 15%. So you put the effort into initiating this content, this video content. It gets into news feeds, and without captions, only 15 out of every 100 people who see it will hear what you say. So it's really, really important that any video content that you create for marketing, where maximum reach and maximum consumption is the goal, because it is the goal, caption those videos. Now, I use a company called Rev. They're the only company, online company that I am aware of that do human manual caption. There are lots that do automated artificial intelligence caption. Usually you will spend far more editing those artificial intelligence captions than it will cost you to get them done properly the first time. Rev charge $1 per video minute. It's Rev that does all the transcriptions for my programs as well as my video. So you will have in the post in the group, you will have a link to get a free $10 voucher from Rev, which means any video up to 10 minutes will get captioned for free. You will also get another how-to video that shows you how to order, edit, and upload your caption video when you get it back from Rev, and how to use the you get a text file back when you order captions, one of the ways that you can download those captions in a text file, and you can use that text file to create a transcript as well without having to pay separately for the transcript. So if you've got a 10-minute video, $10. If you've got the voucher, it's free. But for $10, you've got captions for your video and text that you can repurpose for the post and anywhere else that you want to repurpose it. So it's really good value, and it's the only human caption service that works online. There are lots of people that do it, but for $1 a minute, it's really good value, and it's good quality as well. What you'll get back is good quality. So I do all of mine. So I have done for years, maybe 5 years I've been using them, and the transcriptions that you see of school are all done by Rev. Now, there's a couple of different types of formats of videos that you will get on your Facebook page. One of them is called Watch Party. You also get Watch Party on your profile now and in groups. And Watch Party is like a pajama party. So it's like gathering all your friends around to watch the final of whatever reality show you're watching at the minute, assuming that you do. And you're all sitting around watching the same show at the same time. So Watch Party on Facebook, you are all watching the same video at the same time. So the video for a watch party needs to already exist in Facebook. It's already been uploaded, so it might be a live that's been published, or it might be a pre-recorded. It has to be publicly available video, unless the watch party is just inside the group for group video. But you might want to use that for I don't know, a recording, a second airing, encore of an important video that you've done, and have everyone watch it at the same time. Premiere is an option to basically forward schedule a video using the Premiere function, and then on both of them your audience are notified. So Veronica is hosting a watch party, and then the beginning of the title, or Veronica just premiered her video, because they're notified, use them sparingly. I've got people who are hosting watch parties every hour. Not anymore, not in my feed. Use it sparingly, because this is like attention on steroids, but make sure it's valuable when you do this. So you're basically going right to their phone and going, watch, to make sure it's worth their attention. Value, like we said last week, is subjective, but don't do it for the mess around. Do it because there's a serious intent, and it might be that it's a launch of your offer. It might be the closing of your offer. People get upset that they've been notified about a video because your offer is ending today. You stand true with that because you know the value of what you're offering. So if somebody gets upset, I stand true in the value. I'm serving to serve me fully. I'm selling is to serve deeply. I stand by that. That's okay. But if it was like, oh hey, watch Bill fall over at the beach, not really justified. Touch wood, that doesn't happen. Not that we ever go to the beach. Oh, we are. So touch wood again. It doesn't happen. We don't want that happening. So when you upload a video to Facebook, to your page, you're able to track the viewing audiences of that video. Not singularly, not Jane has watched this video, but the 6 time scan. You're able to segment into separate groups. People that have watched your video for 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 25%, 50%, 75%, and 95%. Because the longer that they watch, the more interested they are in you or the topic. Now, you can use these video audiences when you come to run ads. We don't cover ads, but when in the future you come to run ads, you can show your ads. So supposing there's a video about something to generating leads from Facebook, my video about generating leads from Facebook, somebody who has watched, 50, 75% of that video is more likely to be interested in summer school than the general Facebook population. So you use these audiences to segment your ads to increase your conversions and lower your cost, okay? So in order to use these audiences in ads, they have to be tracked. We can track them for 365 days. So what I've done is to give you another bonus video to show you how to set up these audiences. The video has to have been uploaded to your page. This is your page and not your profile. You can't link. It's not for videos that you've linked to from your page. You upload it to your page. Then you'll watch over my shoulder like you have done with the other how-to videos of how to set up the video viewing audiences. And also there are a few other Facebook page engagement audiences that you can track, and I'll show you how to do that as well. None of them require the pixel. It's all inside Facebook. Now the benefit of page engagement audiences are, if you ever do run ads or boost posts to people who like your page. I've had my page for 10 years, and there are people who will have liked my page 10 years ago, where if I'm paying for an ad to show it to everyone who has liked my page, I'm showing it to them. Now 10 years to now, probably a whole heap of things have changed, where if I run ads to people who have engaged within the last year, that's an audience more likely to be interested in what I have to say, which means I have to spend less because I'm not trying to reach people that are not interested anymore, and I spend less to reach the people who are interested. Does that make sense? So it's really worth you going through and setting all of these audiences up. Follow my steps, set the audiences up so that they're there running, they're building in the background, so for when you do, if you do decide to run ads. So that brings us to talking about where to post your videos natively. Now, when you post videos on your page, you can schedule them so they can publish later, whether that's because you've uploaded it and you're using Premiere, or it's because you're posting, you've uploaded a video to use in a post that you scheduled for a future time and date. On your profile, you can only post live, so you can't schedule at the moment on your profile. There was a time when you could. There was a small period of about, from my memory, it was about 6 weeks where they allowed it and then they took it away. When you upload the video to your page, you can track your audiences. So you create these audiences are your assets. These are advertising assets. When you upload it to your profile, you can't. Same applies for live streams. When you go live from your page, you can track the live and replay viewers. When you upload it to your profile, you cannot. When you do have the option to download it from your profile and upload it to your page and track replay viewers, but you aren't able to track live viewers unless it originates from your page. If you live stream from your page, you can track live viewers. If you live stream from your profile and then download it, you can't track the live viewers. You can only track the replay viewers. A video on your page has a longer life because it's an app. You've got the audience assets, but also because it sits in a very easy to access video library. On your profile, it's basically got the lifespan of the drip published, the 4 to 5 days, unless you keep resharing it. So it lasts longer on your page. Organic engagement on your page will be low to zero. Organic engagement on your profile will be higher. So that's why some people choose to do live streams from their profile, because they like having more live viewers. Other times you choose to do live streams from your page because you want the asset, the longer term asset. So you can decide where you want to compromise. Those are the compromises that you're making. You can decide where. And my personal advice would be to mix it up. There are times where I do want more live people to see it, more live people. I do want more people to see it live, and I'll compromise the tracking of those live viewers in order to have that. There are other times when I want the asset of the audience tracking, so I'm going to do it on my page and compromise on the live engagement. So you decide those are just compromises that you make. There isn't better or worse. It comes down to your goals. It's what are your goals, and which compromise best serves that goal for you. So that's part 2. And before we get to part 3, let's go to chat. So any questions, type to me. If I want to post more videos, am I best to upload the actual video rather than the YouTube link to it in the comments? Yeah, absolutely. If you want to, and again, because I think you probably typed that before I told you about the audience tracking as well. So uploading it to your page will allow you to track viewers, and then you can share it from your page. So anytime you share when you upload the video to your page, anytime you share it, whether you share it on a profile, in an email, on Twitter, or anywhere, viewers of that video are being tracked in your audience. If you link to it on YouTube, you'll weigh down your post heavily and you lose that tracking. Rev is a fantastic service and very fast. It is. Although we say that, right? I mean, I've been referring people to Rev for, well, probably at least 4 years. And every time I refer people to Rev, like now, and then there's a flurry of activity, you come back and you tell me how quickly you've got your videos back, while mine are taking longer than normal. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if it's like she can wait because she's brought all these people to her. She won't mind waiting. But typically they are. And typically you could give them a 10-minute video and it's back within an hour. They tell you 24 hours. Very rarely it takes them longer. When I gave them the transcript for classes 1 and 2, I got class 2 back overnight. What I tend to do is order like now, ready to pick up in the morning. Class 1 went over by 24 hours. We didn't get that back till Saturday, but normally they are really quick. What is the strategy for the watch party to help videos? The strategy for the watch party is, so what basically you would use, what I've used the watch party for in the past is for a replay of a webinar. So I've done a webinar live, and then supposing I was doing a webinar for this, supposing this was a free challenge, so I was doing a webinar for you, I would do the webinar live, and then 2 or 3 days time I'd do an encore of it as a watch party in the group. So you basically you have control of the video. Everyone's watching the video with you and you're then answering their questions, and you could add commentary. But you know what, on DVDs where you get the extras and it's like the director's commentary, it's kind of like that, and they get access to ask you questions while you're talking, while they're watching you on the telly. So I tend to, certain audiences have been a little bit overexposed to watch parties, and where you're in a consumer audience or an audience that isn't exposed to a lot of internet marketing, those would be the best audiences to use watch parties for. For the likes of me, watch party, everyone seems to be doing watch parties in my world. So I would be I would be much more, what do I want to say now? So I'd be much more sparing with them. Really, when you do them, really make an impact with them. Don't kind of blind them with it. Because a person who keeps having these watch parties, I need to stop seeing them in the end. Boring. Where if it happened, you know, if I was to invite everyone to a watch party now, because I haven't done it in this audience, it would have more impact than it would normally if I was doing it all the time. But in a different audience, it's probably even the first one, you know, even doing it weekly would be really exciting for them. So every time you upload a video, you should set up tracking on it. Do you have to do it for each single video? So I recommend that you do it for each single video. So for each single video, the demo video walks you through, but for each single video that you upload, I recommend that you have at least 3 audiences tracked, because the 3 seconds audience have seen it, have seen the video. Doesn't mean they've watched the video, it means that they saw it, and it can even scroll past. On a mobile, it takes about 1.5 seconds to scroll past. So if they've scrolled past it on a mobile, they won't have been captured in the 3-second audience. But if they've scrolled past it on desktop, they will have been captured in 3 seconds. Somebody who sees it for 10 seconds has stopped in the context of scrolling, and usually if you think about it and count to 10, it's a reasonable amount of time. And so on and so on. Now, the reason I recommend that you have separate 1 video per audience is because the video gives you data about the person who watched it. So let me give you an example. So supposing you were a dog training company and the video was of a training that you did with a German Shepherd who is going to do an agility competition, right? Somebody who watches, say, 50% of that video, and let's assume for a minute it's 20 minutes. So someone who's watched 10 minutes of that video, we could make some broad assumptions that they are interested in dogs, that they are interested in German Shepherds, interested in agility training, participating in agility competitions, maybe a few others. Now, if we were to create an audience that combined that video with another video that was about a Chihuahua, what's a Chihuahua like to do at a beauty pageant, well, not ours, but supposedly, walking up with a pretty dress on, the only connection that they have is dog. They're miles apart in interest level. So when you combine them, you lose the depth of the data. But when you come to run out to the audiences, you can select multiple audiences. So where it is that you only want them to be interested in dogs, you can run it to the German Shepherd viewers and the Chihuahua viewers. But where you only want something, supposing you've got a training program for dog owners who want to succeed in agility competition, you wouldn't want to put that in front of the Chihuahua audience, because that's not going to happen. Not any Chihuahua that I know do that, and they'll do the opposite. Where the German Shepherd agility and any other agility videos would work. So if you keep them separate, your ability to segment your targeted ads is much deeper. That's hilarious. I get back in an hour. How dare they slay the queen? I know. What even do they think? What Facebook has a facility to put captions into video, it does, but it's artificial intelligence, which means that it's some computer doing it. And certainly for me, they don't understand a word that I say. I did test the Facebook one, the Facebook captions one, and it was a 2-minute video, and it took me 25 minutes to edit it. For that, when you look at the value of your hour, spend $2 and get something back that is usually pretty close to usable, or spend 25 minutes editing. So what I would suggest that you do is test one short video and see how well I can pick you up. Because if the what's the word I want now? If it's a good, correct, what's the word I want? If it's correct, right, and you don't have to do any editing with the artificial intelligence caption, then winning. But if you want to spend 25 minutes where you could have spent $2, that doesn't make good business sense. But it is there. Same with YouTube as well. They have to. But I just send it to Rev, let them do it while I'm doing something else, and then it's easy. Right, so let's do part 3. Right, now each place is a separate audience. There might be some crossover, but it's not guaranteed. So audience 1, which is your priority, because this is the audience, this is the placement that your Maldives are going to see first. That's your profile. That's what you post on your profile. Number two, so your friend, what you post on your profile for your friend. Number two is what you post on your profile for your friends and your non-friends. The other way around. Number three, which is priority two, is what you post on your page for your people that like or follow your page. Number four is your Facebook story viewers. Some people, if you've ever posted a Facebook story and looked at the stats of who's seen it, you will notice there's many people seeing your stories that you aren't connecting with in your newsfeed. It's a different audience, albeit they might be the same people, but it's different eyeballs. Then there's your personal messenger connections, people that actually type in messages to, and then there's your page message inbox, where if you've got a messenger bot, from there, all people messaging your page. A messenger bot is like your email opt-in, but instead of giving you permission to send your marketing to their email, they give you permission to send them your marketing to their messenger, personal messenger inbox, and you send it from your page messenger inbox. We're not covering that in school, but just so that you understand what the term is. So like I say, there will be people that are in one or more of the audiences, but there will also be people that are only in one, and there are people who might see you in one but not in the others. So we want to make sure that we are serving them with our initiating separately wherever. Okay, so to create content our way, the easiest way to create content our way is to respond to something, right? Instead of just sitting down at an empty screen with a blank page and trying to think of something to say, start with something that you respond to. So that might be a comment that you've left on a post. We talked about that in the last session. It might be an email that you've received from somebody and replied to. Maybe it's a prospect or a client. Maybe they've messaged you on Messenger and you reply and you reuse that. So this is the first one, is reusing something that you've sent privately as content for your audience. Anonymized, of course. The second one is it might be something that you've seen in an email, inbound email, or in your newsfeed that you haven't replied to, but you write the reply or video the reply for your audience. It might be if you ever watch TV or read a book, or you're watching a movie, or you're out and about and you say, turn around to the person with you and you say something about the thing, share that. It might, whenever we go out, we all seem to end up having conversations about marketing. So, you know, there's this thing on the table, what's that about? What's good about this? What's bad about this? So instead of just having the conversation there, have it there and then repeat it to the audience. It's all content that is of value. I mean, obviously it's content that is of value to your audience, but chances are, because you love what you do, you are having this conversation about that are relevant to your audience when you're out and about. It might be positive feedback, or somebody posted in your group, or commented on somebody else's post about you. You might use that and respond to tell the story behind it. And separately, there's a site called Quora.com. It's another social network, and it's a good social network for responders because it's just full of people asking questions. And what you can do is go to Quora and type in keywords for your topic, find the questions that are being asked in Quora, and then you create content to answer those questions for your audience. So anytime that you have an idea or see inspiration for content that you can't create now, add it to your content inspiration bank. I've given you a spreadsheet template that you can use to store the link to all of the content that you've created before, so that you can reuse it on your page. We'll come to that in a minute. And there's a separate tab there for you to jot down ideas. But when you are awake to it, there is literally inspiration all around you. Everywhere is inspiration. And, you know, be awake to it. Keep your mind open to it. And there's probably 100 things a day that are coming in front of you anyway that you can use to respond to it for content. So rather than thinking, you know, this is why I can't, I struggle to write 7 days of emails in one go. So I hear people talk about, I sat down today and I wrote my entire email autoresponder series. I can't do that because I'm responding, unless I've got 7 things to respond to and in one go. But then even then it's still difficult because the energy to initiate, it takes quite a lot of energy, and I run out of it usually around halfway through number 2 or 3. So, but if you've got a pile of things that you can respond to, writing content is easy because you just write the response for, or video the response for your audience. It becomes effortless because it's there. It's as easy as replying to a comment or replying to an email, because you've got the thing and you reply to it and it's out there. So make it easy for yourself. But, you know, as long as you initiate once a week on your profile, you're good. You don't have to be initiating 5 to 7 times a day or whatever it is that they say that you have to do. When you're inspired to initiate, because the more the better. You know, having more content on your profile is never going to be a bad thing, but mold deeping is more important, is a higher priority than creating content, but at minimum once a week. But if you open your mind and are awake to it, there will be more things that you can respond to that will keep a good flow going. It won't, once a week won't feel like a struggle. Twice a week won't feel like a struggle. Now, to build expert authority content, 80% of what you put out needs to come from here. It needs to be your take on it. Now, it can be about shared content, but it must be your take on it. You know, it's like, let me go to somebody's house and we sit down and I say, hey, look at this magazine article that Joanne Blogs wrote. You know, that's interesting. And then you go, oh, look at this video that Josephine Blogs recorded. And you go, that's interesting. And then look at this, I don't know, podcast that Joseph Blog recorded. And what about you? I've come here to see you. What's your article, video, blog post? Now, tell me about you. I want to know about you. I want to get to know you, and I want to hear what you know and all of that. That's really what it's about. For you to be seen as an expert, they need to know you. I know there was a case a few years ago. Somebody came to me and needed some help with something, and I was recommending them to somebody else. It wasn't the best fit for me, but it was a good fit for them. And they refused to go to them because they couldn't see any evidence of what they knew, because everything that they were putting out was somebody else's stuff. It matters. To make an impact, the reason you are here is because you know that I know what I'm talking about. You trusted me, you got to know me, we had a relationship, and you knew that I knew my stuff. That's only because most of what I put out is my stuff. All right? So it's you, they're in your house, they want you. And only share the original if it's absolutely vital, again, because the weight of the share will bring your post down and your overall reach down. But do credit the source. If you're talking about somebody's article, credit the source of the article, and then ask, do they actually need the article to make this worthwhile? And if they don't, you don't have to share it, because the value is in your commentary about the article. So I might write something about a documentary that we watched last night, and it was about this, and this is why, this is the value, that this is what's in it for you, that I'm sharing the story and something to think about. but it's not vital that I give you the link to watch it on iPlayer. You know, they can go off and find the link without you having to weigh your post down with it. But if it's vital, then comment. Pop it in a comment. Right, so then we come to where to post what. Now, this is my method, so you can now take a view as to how this could work for you. So, when I have an idea, and I've got something that I want to respond to, the first thing that happens is that on my profile, I will write the post. And usually I write it on my phone, and I post it. Boom, and it's there. So it goes from here to there in about 10 minutes, right? Then I let it have its few days, typically at least one day, just to see if it's getting traction. So it's friends only for that day. It's getting traction. Look at the comment, because sometimes if you've gone over the head of people with your post, the comment tell you that they don't really get it. So in which case I know that I haven't really nailed it, so I won't bother reusing that. But assuming people are relating to it, the next thing I'll do is I'll then copy that post into Word, and a bit of editing, that becomes an email. Then from the email, it becomes copied and pasted again onto my website as a blog post, right? If it's a live stream, then or a video, I do the same, but I use an edited version of the transcript. When it comes to the blog post, I then embed the live stream into the blog post, right? But it always starts on my profile. The content always begins on my profile. That's the primary audience. After 24 hours, after that post has been live for 24 hours, I go back and change it to public visibility, so it's now visible to more people. That's when it goes out by email and it becomes a blog post. Once it becomes a blog post, I add it to my content library spreadsheet. I'm giving a template of that spreadsheet. And basically what you do is every blog that you create, you put the link in your spreadsheet, and video link, blah, blah, lead magnet links, all the links, so that then the next thing that happens is that on my page, now I don't do this bit myself, but on my page 3 times a week, a previous content that I've created, so no new content goes on my page, it's new on my profile and then it's reused on my page. 3 times a week a post is scheduled to publish on my page using old content. Now for that I put the link in the post usually, because the compromise is the scheduling of it, and because I know that either way, because it's on my page, it's not going to go into many news feeds anyway, so I don't care about that. What it's there for is to keep my brochure ever updating, right? Now once a month you can sit down with this spreadsheet and schedule 3 posts to go out a week on your page to keep recycling your old content and updating your page brochure, right? Now I have my VA does that, Kelly does that for me. What then happens outside of Facebook, but then Bill takes it and schedules it on LinkedIn and Twitter as well, chops it down for Twitter. Now then, so like I say, you're going to get this template of that spreadsheet. So if you want to create that library of content that you've already created, you could also, if you've got a teenager in your family, that's something they could do for you, or you could have a VA just create the spreadsheet initially and then you update it as you go along. My suggestion would be that you create the spreadsheet so that it's all in one place, because it's much quicker to schedule when it's all together than it is when you've got to keep going off and finding it. Now as an example, VA hours is 3 hours per month for that task, so it's not a huge amount of work. If you did it once a week, it would be about 45 minutes a week. But it just keeps stuff going out there on your page. But it starts, the new content you're creating goes on your profile and then it goes through cycle. When we come to stories, I use stories for short lifespan content. So I would put more of my holiday photos into stories than I would put in my feed. What you can also do with stories, if you're promoting an offer, is to create colourful graphics in Canva, so 1080 by 1080, use the Instagram template, and create colourful graphics that catch the eye when the stories sit at the top. And you can use that to bring people from stories into your feed. But you can, when you post on your feed, on your profile, you do get the option to put it in stories as well. You can do that, but it's also worthwhile occasionally creating a nice colourful graphic so that they see the story first and then come back to the feed and scroll through. Because, like I said, we've got separate audiences there who will see your stories. When I look through the people that have seen my stories, they're people that I haven't seen comment or like or interact with my feed for years seeing my stories. You never know who you're going to reach, and by the occasional catch your eye stuff, it might catch their eye, like you're supposed to. So like I say, 24-hour lifespan on a story, it just disappears after 24 hours. You can add it to a highlight reel, but work on the basic assumption that it's got a 24-hour life. So I use that for like last minute offers as well. Hey, look at me up here, and you can use it for stuff that you don't want loitering around in your newsfeed. Now, we've talked about this before, but you don't have an automatic assumption, an automatic right to the attention of your audience. We know that because we've been withdrawing it from some of our friends over the last couple of weeks by unfollowing them. So while it's not our job to worry about upsetting people or have them unfollow us, that's not anything that we should be concerned about. It is absolutely worth you just checking in with yourself to be certain that there is value to them in you posting this. What is in this for them? Is there value for them? The value for their getting to know, like, and trust you, or value in moving them further along in their buying journey with you? So, I don't think I need to tell you this, but post like, really bad day today, no value. That withdraw attention. What am I meant to do with that? Tell me the problem and I can empathize, sympathize, or help you fix it. But so just check in with yourself. And like we said before, value is highly subjective. So don't get into the story of, posting 17 weird quirks about myself. Ain't nobody going to care about that. The value there, yes, it is all about me, but the value is people getting to know that I'm not as normal as you thought I was, but it's more about getting to know me as a person, which means that, and we can bond over the shared weirdities, but there's value in that, all right? So don't get caught up in it. It's just because it's about me, there's no value. The value is in them getting to know you. But post like, really bad day today, nothing, no value. Also, just read it aloud to yourself, because it can be quite easy, especially if you're in a hurry, to just write something like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something, but when you write something quick and short, it can sound really quite abrupt when I hear it in the head. So just read it aloud to yourself and just check that it is actually friendly and it's not it doesn't sound like you're barking at them. And always just ask yourself, is this helping them to get to know, like, and trust me, or move nearer to buying? And does it represent my brand in the way that I want it to? Am I saying anything here that kind of contradicts what my marketing says? From the brand values perspective, because we absolutely should be ourselves, and our brand should be ourselves. But just, it's more about, do you know what we talked about in class 1 about the energy that you're in when you create your post? If you just created something in a bit of negative Nelly energy, is that the way that you want to represent your brand. If it comes across as negative, Nelly, is that how you want to represent your brand? Just check in with that. Make sure that you stand behind what you've written or that you've posted, so that if it does end up on a big screen in Oxford Circus, you'll be okay with that. You know, of course you would. All the publicity. Right, now the other thing to bear in mind is a value language. Now what I mean by that is, I've had many person come to me and say, I only ever attract people who haven't got any money, or they're tire kickers, or they're bargain hunters. And more often than not, when I go back through their posts, I can see why that is, and it's because they're using broke language. Now, I'm not saying that you have to pretend to be super successful, or that you have to pretend to be anything that you're not. Okay, absolutely, I'm not saying that. But be aware that, say for example, so where a client who is going to invest in your premium program likely values time, comfort and luxury highly, which means that posting or engaging in threads about spending days doing your own tax return, or the bargain accommodation that you book, which is 10 minutes away by train from the big trade show that lots of people in your audience are attending, tells the high value, the person who values their time and comfort and luxury or premium, that you're not one of them. Now, there's nothing wrong with not being one of them, but understand that we buy and we align with people like us. So if you're selling a premium program and you want your clients to invest in you, do not spend an hour or talk about how you spent 2 days doing your own tax return, because that's not what somebody who values their time highly does, because you can buy time back, you know. And same with the reason I pay Red to get my captions right the first time is because my time has value. So where I'm paying them $10 for 10 minutes and I'm taking half an hour to edit the AI captions, the value of my hour is around £300, which means I've spent £150 where I could have spent $10. So there's nothing wrong in saving time. There is nothing wrong in celebrating the budget accommodation that you've got at all. But understand that if your audience don't value that, if you are asking somebody to invest thousands in you, they are likely not they value their time. They're buying time back from you. You know, if you've got a premium program, you're likely selling. You're going to expedite, fast track them to the result, and they're buying the speed of the outcome from you, or they're buying. They want to save time. It could take them 10 years to learn it on their own, or a year with you. So the value is in cutting the learning time down, which means that they're investing in getting that time back. Does that make sense? Just be aware of that. It's just being conscious to, when you talk about, so like, for example, when somebody posts a rags to riches story, who most likely aligns with a rags to riches story? It's the person who is nearer the beginning, not the person at the riches, because millionaires don't spend time wanting to know how somebody went from 0 to 100. They want to know how to get from 1 million to 1 billion, which means that the people that will resonate with that are going to be the people who usually are not investing premium with you. So it's just something to be conscious of. Not to say that you have to suddenly start spending money or doing any of the things that put you in the category. Absolutely not. Absolutely do your own tax return if hiring an accountant's not where you are at yet, just don't talk about it publicly, is what I'm saying. Don't put it in front of your client, your potential client. And then, are you speaking your language? Because that's more important, very important. You know, for example, intuition and energy is a big part of how I live my life, and I talk about it in my marketing, my posting, my program, which means because I talk about it, the people that are aligned with me don't see anything odd with that. You know, I don't have conversations with prospective clients who look at me like I'm in another language because I mentioned intuition. So if you're attracting clients that are, or inquiries from people that are a long way away from your thinking, look at what you're not sharing, or what the way that you're presenting yourself through your content is obviously not exactly who you are. You know, use your true voice, use your real voice. And we've got a bonus session on that coming up in August for you, around how to get out of your own way. So, you know, if you've got any barriers around showing up fully as yourself, we've got a bonus session coming for you on that. But it really does make a difference if you are into you know, the spiritual stuff. Share, you know, I talk about angel numbers, I talk about feeling into, I use a lot of feeling words, which means I attract more feeling people. You know, use language that represents your value as well, very importantly, more importantly, because then you'll call in the people who get you, and you'll be surrounded by your clients will be people that you're excited to hang out with because you share the same value. So speak your truth. You know, I mean, I had a conversation with one of my cousins last week, and I've got family, like identical family in UK and Australia. So my nan's sister moved to Australia, and then the chain goes like that. I was speaking to one of my Australian cousins about something or other, and I mentioned, you know, that's an energetic block. Where with you, it's like, yeah, you know. She was like, what on earth are you even talking about? And like, you know, I don't know how we're related. She's on my mum's side, that's probably it. But you know, I don't ever get inquiries from somebody like that, from somebody who is so far removed from energy and intuition because of the marketing language, the language that I use in my content. Yeah, she's my cousin. She's allowed to disagree with me occasionally. But so make sure you're talking about what's true for you. You know. So your first assignment for this session is to go back through your personal profile newsfeed and look at what is publicly visible. Look at posts that you've put on there that are currently friends only, that might add value to your more deep connections who are reviewing whether they want to connect with you as a friend. Go and make those public. Then think about going forward. So to think about content that you've already posted, and try and make 5 posts public that are valuable to your more deep connections who are checking you out. All right, and then once a week, go back and review it again, because they're not going to scroll miles down. But 5 public, visible posts will be what they see when they come to your profile. If you haven't got 5, it's okay. We can start from here. All right. So don't worry about what you haven't got. But in the next class, we're going to talk about different types of content that you will put out, and then it will be about making sure that you've got your bases covered with public as well. Now, in pre-work part 1, do you remember when you wrote your niche nexus statement? It ended with without, and I told you to take that off, unpark it. Now is the time to get it out of storage. Another assignment for you today is to create a piece of content in whichever format that dispels the false belief that you highlighted in your without statement. So mine was, I help introverts generate a consistent stream of leads from Facebook. And when I say that, they think, oh, you mean ads, right? And so without needing to pay for ads. So now my content would look like why you don't need to pay for ads to generate leads from Facebook. You can create a piece of content that you will post on your profile, friends only for 24 hours, and then make it public so that you start to share your expertise with your audience. And that's for you to do between now and the next call. So what I would suggest is that you use some of the content inspiration ideas to go and find some questions around that and answer those questions, respond to a question in your piece of content. So, you know, if somebody says, so if you don't know, I mean, if you weren't entirely sure what the objection about your thing was, if the without was a little bit not quite sure, then use some of the ideas that I gave you for finding content to respond to go and look for some objections that you've had previously, or some questions about, well, don't you have to, and reply to one of those. Now, before we finish today, I just want to talk to you about a couple of things, because what we're doing here is we're covering step 3 of the 3 steps to generate paying clients from Facebook. So what step 3 is about mile deeping to bring new people into your audience. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. We're out there, we're networking, so that more people know who we are. Now, most of those people that you meet won't be ready to buy yet. Okay, so then step 2 is to have a lead magnet, a viral lead magnet that 75% of those people that you meet mile deeping will see value in, which means that you're growing your email list through 3/4 of the interactions that you're having on Facebook. And also, you might want a Facebook group, your own Facebook group, but introvert style, where it opens and closes for high burst service and interaction, but you're nurturing a relationship. So a group like our summer school group, where we're having an amazing experience in there, but then it will go quiet and it'll go back into responder mode after the active phase has ended. And most important of all is having something that you can sell, a program or services that you can sell and deliver online, which means that you remove geographical boundaries, because people that you meet will be all over the world, and also that you can sell with ease, because there's energetic reasons why, if your offer isn't selling, if people aren't buying from you, then it's likely somewhere that you're not aligned with what you're selling. So it's really clear, really important that we get underneath and create an offer that you're truly, truly, truly excited about, that you will sell easily, and delivering will be an enormous amount of fun. Now, we are only covering step 3 inside summer school. So I've got a special invitation for you if you'd like to work with me to get the full spectrum covered, so that you are daily generating sales through Facebook. So I'd like to invite you to join my 12-month mastermind. Now, inside the mastermind, you're going to get access, instant access to phases 1 and 2, so you can quickly create the online program or service that you will sell with ease. You get daily access to me inside our most amazing Facebook group. It's like summer school on steroids, but once we finish July, my active involvement in summer school will go down. I'll be in responder mode, but my active involvement is in my mastermind group. You get to carry on, but scale and grow from there. Now, every 2 weeks, we have a group call, and on those group calls, you can have a live hot seat with me. So in the first part of the call, I'm sharing what I've been learning, so I'm sharing behind the scenes of the summer school launch, what I'm learning from working with private clients, new updates to Facebook, new things that are new software, whatever that brings value to you. And then we open up the call for you have a live hot seat with me. Talk to me. I coach you through whatever I can help you with today. And then the other members will contribute in the chat And like we do here, we download that chat so that you get the whole thing after it, the replay and the chat, to see what others are saying. We also get monthly expert training, and some of the things that, so this extra training is based around on you scaling further, to grow further through Facebook, but in business in general. So examples have been testimonial frameworks that get video testimonials that do the selling for you, because there are testimonials and then there are testimonials. So I give you the framework and show you how to get testimonials that are truly valuable to you. We've covered how to create graphics that people respond to, that they stop scrolling. The next session is at the beginning of August, and that's going to be for when you're repurposing your Facebook videos into YouTube. Pete Bennett's coming in to tell you how to optimize your YouTube videos to help you grow your YouTube channel. So not Facebook related, but business related. I'm trying to think what else to cover, but every month it's either me or I bring in an expert to teach you something extra, not heavy, not overwhelming content, but just something extra that adds to your toolkit for generating more paying clients. You also get free attendance at every session, every program that I launch during your membership. So there are people inside Summer School who are in my mastermind as part of being in mastermind. They are here as well, and you will get to do the same if you join mastermind too. Now what I'm going to do is a special bonus session. If anyone who joins mastermind during July, well, next Tuesday I'm going to do a drop-in live call. You'll be able to come on the call, and what we're going to do is, because over the summer you will have opportunities through your My Deepens to make sales. What we're going to do is very quickly create you an offer that you can sell for £99, $99 that is an instant yes decision for your ideal client. And we're going to brainstorm that on the group call next Tuesday. Idea being that you can spend July generating some sales before we start your 12 months in the mastermind on the 1st of August. So when you join now, you're basically getting 21 days for free, because your 12 months won't start ticking until the 1st of August. But you'll get that live call with me, where just like I tuned in and found your niche nexus statement, I will tune in and find your £99, $99 offer that you can be out there promoting during July. So the investment to join Mastermind is £300 a month, or $400, or pay in full for £3,000. Both include that, and you'll make either your first payment or your full payment now, but the 12 months won't start until the 1st of August. You come on the call with me next Wednesday, and we will tune into your offer. I'll give you a framework for a post to put on Facebook to go out and offer this offer, and then throughout July you'll be able to promote this offer and start bringing in sales. Very feasibly, you could be in break even in July. It's possible. Now this offer ends at the end of July. On 1st of August, the price to join Mastermind is going to increase. I'm not sure yet what to do, but it is going up. Okay, so by joining us now, you're going to get access to this bonus class to tune into your offer. If you join after the class, you won't get to come into the tune in class. You'll be able to watch the replay, and I'll give you some feedback in the post. But join this week to come onto the live class with me next week. During July also, we're going to deduct what you invested in summer school, so that whatever you paid to join summer school will take off, so that the total is what we've said, and it's not summer school plus. We're also going to add some testimonial videos into the unit section of summer school. These are from existing mastermind members. Those members are in the summer school group if you want to talk to them, but you will be able to hear in their own words on the video the results that they've got. Now, every testimonial video that you watch all centers around phases 1 and 2. because I've been really guilty of not prioritizing phase 3 in my mastermind, because we all focus on the shorter term cash benefit. When you put 1 and 2 on top of 3, it's going to be ultra powerful. So all of the testimonials that you see are around 1 and 2. So that'll give you an idea of the impact and the results that you can expect. Now, everyone who is in Mastermind says that the benefit of Mastermind is having access to me. Now, you're going to have access to me for the next 12 months. The question for you is, do you believe that with my active involvement, and when I say active, I really do mean active. I think you've got an idea in summer school, but in Mastermind, it's in another level up. I will critique your copy. I am there for you every step of the way. Together with me and the other 20-something, 28 members of Mastermind currently, do you believe that we could add at least another 5,000 to your business over the next 12 months? If so, watch the testimonial videos, message me. I've got some info I can send you if you want more. We can have a chat, an actual chat or a messenger chat, but talk to me. If you are interested at any level, let's talk about it and let's make real Facebook success and beyond. Because when you've created your offer, you can sell that anywhere. It's not just on Facebook, but create real success for you over the next 12 months together. Well, 12 and a half, because like I said, you start now, but you're not actually, the clock doesn't start until August. So if you're any interest at all, message me. I'll pop the testimonial videos in the unit so you can see what they've said. All of the people in the testimonial videos are in summer school. If you want to tap them up, I haven't asked permission, so hopefully that'll be okay. They'll tell me if it's not, but you'll be able to watch their video and hear their words from them anyway, and then message me and let's talk about it and see whether it is a good fit for you. I can't guarantee that it will be a good fit for you, and if I don't believe I can help you, I'll tell you. I'm not about filling this mastermind for the numbers. I genuinely give a shit about getting you the results, and if I don't believe I can do that, it's not for you, okay? And I will tell you that. I turn people away every week. I'm also really protective of the family that we have inside Mastermind. So, you know, you will bring in value for them and they will bring value for you, and I bring value for all of you. So if it's not a good fit, I will tell you that. But if you've got any interest at all, send me a message and let's start the conversation. Yeah, no obligation on either side. So I will be back here next Wednesday at 4 o'clock with class 4. Class 4 is around generating inquiries from your content. By the end of the next session, you will have the full organic Facebook marketing strategy. So spend this week creating a piece of content about your without statement and tidying up minimum. If you want to create more obviously, and do the review public visibility from friends posts. Make sure you've got a good shop window when they come across you, and they're not friends yet. Okay, so let's check the chat. I have to dash, and it has to dash. Where you post and later go live, is the reach of the live videos surprised as it would be for 2 written posts? Do you mean, do you get more reach for a live video? Well, so if you create a live video about the same content that you've written a post for, there's no penalty there. That's fine, because the video is one piece of content and text is another, right? They're 2 separate. There's no duplication issue. It used to be that, so when Facebook bring in a new feature, they reward you for using it. So it used to be that if you did a live stream, you got extra reach boost, you know, they rewarded you with visibility. That's not the case anymore. So will it get it more or less? I can't answer that for certain without testing it, but from what I've seen, I don't believe it will make any difference either way. But you won't be penalised for it being a duplicate, because it's not actually a duplicate, it's different content. That makes sense. Are we there? Any other questions? I'll just have a quick slip of my drink before we go. Got anything you want to ask? Okay, if you think of anything, you know where to find me in the group. And like I say, if you've got any remote interest in finding out if the mastermind is a fit for you, hit me up in Messenger and we'll have a conversation. We'll put some videos in the unit for you to watch. Okay, and I'll see you back here next Wednesday at 4 o'clock.